A very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for the UBC Lunchtime News, this 14th day of March 2026. My name is Wadulo Arnold, and it's going to be a 30-minute long bulletin. So do sit tight. Let's give you these updates. To start off, the Ministry of Water and Environment, together with the Global Water Partnership and other development partners, have convened a meeting to discuss the development of an integrated water resource management plan. And this meeting was held at the ministry's headquarters in Luzira. It brought together key stakeholders to explore ways of improving water access and ensuring that water is sustainably used in the country's water resources.
Uganda is stepping up efforts to strengthen the management of its water resources as part of the push to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. The Global Water Partnership Eastern Africa, working with the Ministry of Water and Environment and the United Nations Environment Programme, is spearheading the development of the plan aimed at addressing gaps in policy, coordination, monitoring and financing.
Now for this national level policy, it's a part of our role is to also help bring those voices, perspectives and recommendations from the people in those different districts around the catchment areas to bring and ensure that their recommendations are included in national policy.
The Integrated Water Resource Management Action Plan will outline key priority actions to guide the country in improving water management and ensuring sustainable use of water resources. Lona Masika, the interim regional coordinator for Global Water Partnership Eastern Africa, says the partnership is meant to support Uganda in achieving water-related sustainable development goals while strengthening climate resilience.
What has been happening is that the SDG 6.5.1 has been being reported upon by Uganda, being monitored and being reported upon, and challenges have been identified in the previous reports. But now we decided to come up with an action plan to bridge those gaps. And one of the things that we want out of this action plan is not just the priority action, we need it costed. So once it's costed, then we know how much funding we need to put into the gaps so that we can be able to reach the target of 80%.
Engineer Albert Orijabo, the Assistant Commissioner at the Ministry of Water and Environment, says Uganda is already implementing the initiative as a framework that brings together stakeholders involved in water use and conservation. He adds that the approach helps ensure effective management of water resources at both national and local levels, especially as the country faces challenges such as water pollution, population growth and limited access to safe water.
When these water resources are excessively threatened, impacts of climate change, anthropogenic factors, encroachment of ecosystems. So because of these threats and because of the high demand for water and environment services, their management can no longer be done by government alone. It has to be done by different stakeholders.
Despite being home to vast water bodies, including Lake Victoria, Uganda still struggles to provide reliable clean water to all citizens. The new Water Action Plan will provide a coordinated framework to improve water quality and ensure sustainable management of water resources for future generations.
And in more news, Makerere University academic staff under their umbrella body MWASA is in preparations to elect the new leaders come Monday, 16th March. MWASA plays a key role in advocating for lecturers' welfare and academic freedom within the university. Members say that the upcoming leadership must prioritize stronger engagement with government and university management to address long-standing concerns affecting academic staff. Speaking ahead of the vote, Professor Sarah Sally called on lecturers to remain united and committed to strengthening the association as it continues to push for improved professional representation and better working conditions. More details in this report.
Had the core executive. In most cases, some of these positions have been running unopposed, but this year we had a very big turn-up, or quite an interesting turn-up of candidates, and all these positions were contested. That's why we had to have a campaign. MWASA, as an association, is that body that regulates and coordinates affairs of the teachers, the staff of the teaching staff of the university. And one of the fundamental work of the association is to take care of the staff welfare. Election, the voting is going to take place on Monday.
Makerere is an academic institution. All other staff support, and all the work they do will improve if the academic staff are themselves doing well. What I will do, on top of our priority, staff rights. The rights our academic staff, our members have as employees of Makerere University, as given in the Universities and Other Tertiary Institutions Act, the standing orders and other relevant legal instruments. As early as 2015, President Museveni promised to enhance the salaries of the academic staff of Makerere and by extension the public universities. That was achieved but only partially for the category of professors and associate professors. An outstanding issue of inequity remains that the other categories were not enhanced.
Of course, management, we are in Wasa, we shall always continue being in Wasa, and also when we lose our management positions, they always feel we fall back to an institution that is Wasa. So that's why we call Wasa, and I declare that I hope we continue being members. All I can say as I leave is even when we disagree, let us protect the right of our colleagues voicing what they have to voice. It is an adage which comes from Voltaire. I may disapprove of what you are saying, but I will defend your right to speak it. Let this be the spirit that lives in Wasa, because we are in all this together.
And in more UBC News tonight, government officials responsible for coordinating security and monitoring public programs at the district level have been urged to take a more active role in planning, data collection and community engagement to improve service delivery and accountability. The Permanent Secretary, Office of the President, Haj Yunus Kakande, says that absenteeism from the district and city planning meetings has weakened the monitoring of government programs and limited officials' understanding of budget processes.
As government continues efforts to move citizens from poverty into the money economy through various development initiatives, officials note that many programs face implementation challenges due to limited understanding of government policies among some implementing partners. While closing a 3-day capacity building workshop, Haji Yunus Kakande, the Permanent Secretary in the Office of the President, in a speech read for him by retired Lieutenant Colonel Mbako Kibrai, said absenteeism from district planning meetings weakens monitoring of government programs and limits officials' understanding of budget processes and public fund utilization.
Government continues to invest substantial resources in priority sectors such as agriculture, infrastructure development, education, health services, and wealth creation initiatives. However, the effectiveness of these investments largely depend on the quality of supervision, monitoring, and coordination at the district level.
The workshop aimed to strengthen supervision, monitoring, and the implementation of government programs across districts. Security officials were also encouraged to revive grassroots security structures at parish and village levels to improve information flow and help identify gaps in service delivery.
And give that structure or cause it to be active. What do I mean? Sensitizing them on what they are supposed to do. They are the ones who are supposed to tell you that in this health facility there are no staff. Even the ones who are there don't come. There are no drugs. These are the people who are supposed to follow this.
The workshop further highlighted concerns about corruption within district service commissions and challenges affecting recruitment processes in several districts.
It is because recruitment has been banned in all local governments. And when they are doing these recruitments, it's always done only on request. That is 1. 2.
Demand for skilling up, the enrollment is becoming extremely high in a level.
Participants were introduced to new approaches aimed at improving coordination, monitoring, evaluation, security and service delivery within government institutions. The training also highlighted the agricultural credit facility and reviewed progress on implementing the 2021 to 2026 government manifesto in the Lango sub-region. UBC News.
Flooding on River Ruheza Meya and flooding on River Ruheza Mienda has cut off the Kisoro Rubugi. I beg your pardon. There must be some Rubugiri tourism road, forcing residents and travelers to cross using wooden boats is inconveniencing transport in the region. The bridge of the river linking Nyuondo sub-county to Rubugiri Town Council in Bukimbiri constituency, Kisoro district, was washed away after the river burst its banks following heavy rains. Let's have more on this story.
Torrential rains have cut off several communities in the hilly district of Kisoro after floods washed away bridges and rendered roads impassable. The Kisoro Rubunguri and the Muko Katojo Bukimbiri roads are among the worst affected after sections along River Ruheza Mienda were destroyed by rising water. Travelers, including tourists heading to the nearby Bwindi Impenetrable National Park, are now forced to cross the flooded river using wooden boats, improvised canoes, and by being carried on people's backs.
Here, there are a lot of people, hundreds of white people of Muzungu, they come to here to see gorillas, and they cannot pass here, and they turn back. They are not coming anymore in the jungle to see gorillas.
A local group, Nyekundire Group, hired 2 wooden boats to help people cross the river. The group's leader, Saturday Alozia, says they stepped in after the flooding completely cut off the road. Saturday says the boats were hired at a cost of 150,000 shillings each and are currently helping hundreds of travelers cross the flooded section.
Buchimbire ni yali irali Saxo district hararuga yebihimba hararuga yemonda hararuga makara hararuga tijya mushinjwa hararuga chi abajungu niyo bali ati uraranguriya turikushaka.
Isaac Nsenga, the owner of the boat, says the crossing has become a major lifeline for stranded travelers, earning about 300,000 shillings daily. Other operators helping residents cross say each person pays 2,000 shillings, while luggage is charged 3,000 shillings. They say collections can exceed 700,000 shillings a day.
Nanye ndaleba abataka bakunoya bari kubona abona. Ndaleta amato ganja abiri. Buri runaka imitwara ashatu. Kugira amato ganje gagere imitwara 30.
Residents traveling between Nyundo sub-county and Rubunguri Town Council say the flooding has disrupted transport and business activities. The LC3 chairperson of Nyundo sub-county, Mutabazi Fred, says River Ruheza Mienda flooded early this week, cutting off the main road linking the 2 areas. Mutabazi says the road has repeatedly been repaired using culverts, but these are easily destroyed by floods. He's now calling for the construction of a permanent bridge.
Turukubona abona munonga kora lebe hano ya hano ya rero mu mirambi ho akasisikara hano jira wakahungu tubyekere so mwamara tabaza kwizera wakahungu akakagira akaturambura akareba hano ko ibintu byashishikeye.
Really face a big challenge through these roads connecting different parks. Like this morning we had the same problem going to gorilla tracking, then we are done with gorilla tracking. Again we decided to take a different route, same problem here. So I wish the government could come up and really work on these roads, otherwise it's a very big challenge.
Residents Edward Tushemerirwe and Twesje Ponsiano, a teacher in Bukimbiri sub-county, say the situation has also disrupted the delivery of scholastic materials to schools. They are urging government to intervene quickly.
We are stopped from going to Kisoro. We cannot access the town, we cannot access some of the facilities within the town because of this river here. So we are blocked. Even some school materials which are supposed to be got from Kisoro, we cannot get them because of this flooded river.
Meanwhile, landslides have also cut off the alternative tourism road linking Katojo to Rubunguri. Tour operators say the poor state of roads is making access to tourism sites increasingly difficult and are appealing for urgent government intervention. The Kisoro Deputy Resident District Commissioner Dan Ndikumwami has described the situation as a disaster. He says the Ministry of Works and Transport has been alerted to urgently clear landslides and restore access to affected roads.
That is very good. I've communicated with these people that I've talked to as a manager of the station, Ministry of Works. So I believe that you're going to work on it. I think you have heard they are going to work on that road. Yes.
More still in the same vicinity, the Ministry of Water and Environment has commissioned 3 water storage tanks in Kisoro district to improve access to safe drinking water for schools and nearby communities. The 20,000-litre tanks have been installed at Rugandu Primary School, Iryaruvumba Secondary School in Rubunguri Town Council and Ikamiro Health Center 3. More details in this report.
Egitanka bagitere umwanya gwibere shemerere habo kubo guno mwanya muyi munonga gutalimo mezi.
Schools and a healthy facility in water-stressed areas of Kisoro district have received new rainwater harvesting and storage tanks from the Ministry of Water and Environment to improve access to safe water.
We've been having a challenge of water, especially when it comes to dry spell. We are supplied by Southwestern Umbrella Water and Sanitation, but the costs have been high.
The principal engineer at the ministry, Enoch Mwanje, says the tanks will provide reliable clean water for learners, patients and surrounding communities. He adds that similar projects are being implemented in Kisoro, Rubanda and Kabale districts.
Been constructed with support from the UNDP under the Green Climate Fund project. It's a project that is being implemented by the Ministry of Water and Environment. So today we had 3 tanks to be handed over. Those 3 tanks were done in the district of Kisoro. One was at Rugandu Primary School. The second one is at Ruvumba High School, and the third one is at Ikamiro Health Center 2.
The Kisoro Deputy Resident District Commissioner Dan Ndikumwami warned that vandalizing government infrastructure undermines development. He called on schools and communities to protect the tanks to ensure long-term access to clean water.
Kuko amazi muzingo ni life so buzima, water is life, amazi niki n'ubuzima. So utayerebe y'abantu bakaza bagasoba hano bakanaga bagasukaho bira byo ntashaka kuvuga abantu baragwara muri kukireba. So yes, so hano mu ishuri abana bacu mubigisha byamura bigisha, so mubigisha badakinana no baguma barakondo neza bamupinge neza tanka bayirebere batayikinisha batayifumura.
Edson Oshabire, head teacher of Iryaruvumba Secondary School, and James Kamari of Rugandu Primary School welcomed the project, saying the tanks will improve hygiene and ensure reliable water for learners.
It's working. Situation.
It just rained.
No. So all the taps are doing what? They are working. Don't say that it is only one tap. I've seen everything.
Community leaders say the facilities will also support nearby residents who rely on schools and health centers for safety.
So, Muchara.
Yes, Daddy.
You know the children are going back to school and things are a bit tight. Huh? For now, why don't you take half of the fees to junior school, and for the school van contribution, we shall pay later.
Daddy, why don't we pay using MTN Momo, where we stand a chance of winning school fees for a whole year and more? By the way, you can also apply for a school fees loan, and also participating schools can win a school van.
That's right! Win school fees for a whole year and more. Get Momo goodies and a school van for participating schools. You can also apply for a school fees loan. Simply dial *165*80# or use the Momo app.
Mama, only don't tell.
Banange MTN.
taata omwana ogenda mugambako oba wali wano
taliwo sente zembadde ngenda okusasula ku school fees z'omukulu zigenda kunyambako okuweerera batoobe abalala ababiri MTN mama ngenkoledde kinene ngasinga omumaamu sirijjerabira obulamu bwange bwonna
ngenda kusibira okusasula school fees nyiga star 155 star 80 ashi sasula school fees ng'okozesa momo school funds mu masomero tugenda zigaba osobola okwewola waliwo school fees loan genda ofune looni oba otalinawo ssente ozisasule mu bbanga mpola mpola obulamu butambule nga buli koona.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News this afternoon. Women in Gulu City have petitioned the government of Uganda to scale up investments with aim to accelerate justice for women and girls in Acholi sub-region. This was during a women's conference organized by the Thrive Gulu and Care International Uganda, held in Gulu City as part of the belated International Women's Day celebrations for the city. More details in this report.
Women have continued to raise concerns over continuous gender-based violence in which they say access to justice has been compromised, leading to delays.
And the lived realities of women and girls in our community. The promise of justice is still too often denied.
The petition seeks for ways in which the government can invest in justice system as a move to avert GBV through timely court rulings.
The Gulu High Court itself has registered 1,876 cases, of which a staggering 53% of criminal cases being GBV related. Therefore, we respectfully petition the government of Uganda and the Gulu City authorities to adopt, number one, expand and institutionalize fast-track GBV courts. The goal must be to reduce the case backlog and ensure all GBV cases are concluded within a year. Our demand is invest in robust free legal aid and paralegal network. Our demand number three is to strengthen the capacity of law enforcement for survivor-centered investigations.
All Betty Ochan, the woman member of parliament for Gulu City, tasked women to develop self-confidence to create peace in homes through supporting their husbands.
So the short time we are here in the world, we have to live peacefully. Why do you torture me? Love your husband. Your husband is your son, your first child. When your husband needs something small, and you have, please, give.
Experts attribute GBV and sexual violence among women to poverty, with a suggestion for women to start indulging in businesses by taking advantage of government financial programs like the GROW project.
And then we grow. The benefits of this registration, one, first loan, that is financing. You can easily access finances.
With the small income we are getting from our business, that is the income that will make the government and will make our economy to grow.
Director of Thrive Gulu, Salome Amoge, calls upon women to support each other in times of violence orchestrated against them.
So let's ask ourselves, what are those opportunities that we are denying ourselves, that we are losing in terms of accessing justice? And then how do you reclaim those opportunities? Together, let's support each other as women. Let's work together and we can grow.
As GBV cases keep dropping in Acholi, the sub-region is still among areas with the highest GBV cases in Uganda, with about 78% prevalence rate in 2025. Joseph Fodama, UBC News.
Farmers in eastern Uganda are embracing new agricultural technologies to boost rice production. Korea Partnerships for Innovations of Agriculture held a competition at Doho Irrigation Scheme in Butaleja district, honoring farmers who applied new techniques.
Farmers under Woba Holdings Limited celebrated victory after defeating rivals Diffacos in the second farmers contest at Doho Irrigation Scheme, Butaleja district.
Planting in a group and helping each other. And I think we are, if you came to our gardens, as a group, you would really be surprised.
The Korea Partnership for Innovation of Agriculture competition evaluates farmers' application of modern rice growing technologies introduced through the program.
How are you managing your field? Are you planting your rice in lines? Are you doing the watering well? Are you applying the fertilizers? Are you applying the knowledge that we have given you?
In the group category, Roba Holdings Limited won first place with 63% and $2,000, also claimed second with 54%, while Diffacos secured third with 51.8% and $500.
Luova Cooperatives is more enthusiastic and they're applying exactly what we are telling them. So because of that, we see that Doho 1 is lagging behind compared to Doho 2.
In the individual category, Nawe Gulu Kuluthum of Roba Holdings Limited emerged champion with 87% and $2,000. Mwanga Sam of Diffacos placed second, 85%, $1,000. Yusuf Naleba third, 84%, $500.
Men following emitendera gye batugamba okutambulirako okukozesa. Kyesimanyi ne ngenda ne mbuuzaako group leader waffe.
I should have been Braska #1, but you know, somebody may say, why be #1 in the group, why be #1 here, and so forth.
Farmers from Diffacos admitted defeat, saying their loss was partly due to mistakes in applying the new technologies.
Time management and the way you monitor and handle activities on your farm, it's what is lacking. But this time around, I'm going to sit with them to ensure that everything is done in the rightful way.
The competition is designed to motivate farmers to adapt modern farming technologies that improve both the quality and quantity of rice production.
These, the winners, is forefront to make innovation of agriculture. I remind from the starting year 2024, this year, the productivity is doubling or tripling sometime.
The winners were announced and awarded during the second rice festival held in Butaleja district. I'm Nafka Farida and Joseph Okwo.
More in our lunchtime news. 20 university students pursuing science and technology programs have received high-tech laptops and scholastic materials under the Airtel Africa Foundation Tech Fellowship Program. The support delivered in partnership with Brainchild Barson aims to strengthen digital learning and research among scholars from underprivileged backgrounds studying at different universities across Uganda.
We committed that for the entire 4 years or 3 years that you're studying, we're going to pay your tuition, we're going to make sure that you're comfortable, you have your accommodation paid, and all other things you need to study comfortably. Now, on top of that, today, we want to also empower you and give you equipment that your STEM education requires. You all require a gadget to ensure that you're doing your work from wherever you are.
So for this particular program, we will be, number one, giving scholastic materials to all of you to support you in your education journey. Yeah, and that support will come through Brainchild Barson, digital events and experiential arm. We'll, in addition, be able to provide with you with up to 4 opportunities for internship. And those will be paid opportunities. Paid opportunities. So it's paid internship because giving back is part of our DNA. As a business, we believe in doing good in communities. We believe in empowering people. And that's why our purpose is moving people through ideas and enabling them to transform in their lives.
When we were setting up this Airtel Africa Foundation, one of the things we said was we are going to remove barriers. What are those barriers? Yeah? They are largely to do with intellect, the know-how, having the know-how to do things.
I'm always a firm believer, and I've always said it. Charity, we've worked together for a long time, and I've always said Uganda has very good talent. Of that, I'm 100% sure. We have very good talent, and I've exported talent. And for me, I've always wanted to be the net export of talent anywhere. Yeah? When I look at young faces here, I'm very happy and gratified that with this program Uganda was able to raise the 20 students. It means we have the talent. And I'm sure if we were given 100, I will bring the 100.
How much is given? Much is required, definitely. So also today we're going to hold you accountable. I think in your emails, some of you have already started receiving these emails. You're going to be required to hold a certain CGPA all the way to the end.
To whom much is given, much is required. What a perfect way to bring us to the end of our lunchtime news this afternoon. My name is Wadulo Arnold. Stay tuned for more news in our subsequent bulletin. I am styled by Lavi Boutique, located on Grand Imperial Shop 6 and 8, right behind Bank of Uganda in Kampala. Have yourselves a lovely afternoon.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise